What's up, bike people? This is Fossil Fool coming at you from Rock the Bikes Berkeley headquarters. And today we're going to be showing you the One Bike, One Speaker sound system. This is a pedal-powered sound system that has really impressive sound. It's really easy to use. It's everything that you need. You need one bike to carry the gear and to power the gear, and you need one speaker to reach a crowd with your message or your music. So as you can see, I rode in with the bike. I'm going to take the bike, put it on its kickstand, unload the speaker, use the same exact bike to power the loudspeaker, and then ride home. Undo the straps, get the speaker off the bike. Using a speaker stand is really helpful, and I'll explain why later. But I'm going to set the speaker stand up. The speaker's got a hole in the bottom, just match it up with the pole. The purpose of the stand is to elevate the speaker so that the tweeter section, which is the section that has that high sound, that's the section that makes speech understandable. You need that to be up high so that it can go over the heads of the first, second, third rows of people watching you. As you can see, it doesn't take too long to get a bike ready for pedal power use. You need to elevate the rear wheel. Different bikes have different ways of doing this. This is a Mundo. We use the lunar lander stands. They make it wide enough for pedal power. Okay, so you can get on. Now when I'm pedaling, the wheel's off the ground, which means that the power can be accessed for other purposes than transportation. For today's demonstration, I'm actually going to use a regular bike because this is the most approachable and affordable way to have one bike, one speaker. You supply the bike, and all you need to get from us is the wheel and the stand. So you got the cable that we provide. The cable has a built-in pedalometer. The pedalometer is what your pedalers need to see to know how hard to pedal. Clip that on the handlebars where they can see it. Then there's some built-in Velcros. There's only 2 connections that you need to make to fully set up your one bike, one speaker system. This is one of them. It's a 3-way connector. It matches the 3-way connector that comes from the wheel. One connection there. Here's the other. It's a round connection. It goes into this input on the back of the speaker. That's it. I've fully set up the pedal power aspect of the one bike, one speaker system. Now the thing operates just like any other loudspeaker. It actually only has one input. It's an input that takes both an XLR connection or a 1/4 inch connection, so it takes both of the most common connectors. I'm going to plug a mic straight in, switch it to mic level, and turn it up to midnight and give you guys the demonstration. Joey, I want you to time me. Okay, just count seconds until I can use the microphone, okay? We have no power stored in the system. Microphone's not working, okay? Ready? Check, 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 check. How long was it?
About 3 or 4 seconds.
3 or 4 seconds before I was able to use the microphone. And you still timing? Another 15, 20 seconds and the blue lights are fully on. If I pedal really hard, there's a protection circuit that kicks in. We've got a microphone on. Listening levels are fully sufficient for the entire neighborhood to hear. I apologize, guys. Let me turn it down a little bit. And I'm going to keep using the microphone as I explain some of the benefits of the system. And you guys are going to understand how long the power lasts. Okay, so obviously that little bit of pedaling did put me out of breath, but you can put the bike in an easier gear and do it more gradually. Digital amplifiers have reduced the power consumption of speakers considerably, and this one was that way. And then we modified it. We modified it to take pedal power in and not to need AC power. This is where power normally goes into a speaker. It can still be used that way, but the one bike, one speaker system uses this input. You can see I've unplugged the input. I'm still able to use the microphone. The speaker has in it a capacitor that stores power. the circuitry that we've put into the speaker that bypasses the AC power section allows us to put the power from the bicycle directly into the speaker without any intermediate steps, such as an AC-DC inverter. Those intermediate steps reduce the efficiency of your system because they use a little bit of power to change. They use power to change the format of the power from AC to DC and then back into DC. As you can hear, the audio is just now starting to get kind of crappy. That's what it sounds like when you're at the end of the power use. That's how long you're going to be able to reliably have at your events when you're doing transitions between pedalers. One pedaler can get on, one pedaler can get off, and it doesn't interrupt the event. It's a relaxed vibe. It's what you want pedal power to be. You don't want pedal power to be stressful. You want pedal power to be relaxing, reassuring, fun, okay? So that was a demonstration of the microphone, and now we're going to do a demonstration of music. We have with us today Cello Joe, local performer, bike touring, radness. Come on in, Joey. This is an example of one of the mixers that you can get from us. It's a simple mixer. It's got good sound. It has 2 XLR inputs. You can also get one that has 4 XLR inputs. And it plugs directly into the speaker, so you don't have to worry about batteries or AC power for this either. Just take the connector and you put the connector right into the speaker. Okay? That's going to be powered by the bike too. This is one of our favorite performers in the community. Cello Joe tours by bike, now pedal powers his shows using a one bike, one speaker system that we built, and spreads bike love far and wide.
Rock the bike. Rock the bike. Rock the bike.
Okay, so we had listening levels in the 90s, and that's not the loudest that the speaker can go. You can definitely turn it up even louder than that.
I recently went on a bike tour in Australia, and everywhere that I went, I was able to play my music and basically create my own stage wherever I went.
And the pedaler who's powering you is part of the stage.
Definitely. I always ask the person what their name is, and then I get the whole crowd to give it up for the pedaler, and so they become part of the show for sure. It definitely draws visual interest, and then there's people that are kind of just waiting around for a turn to ride on the bike. I even had one guy that came up with a flute and said, "Hey, can I jam along with you?" And he was riding the bike at the same time.
Nice, and he wasn't out of breath.
No.
That's pretty sweet. How does that feel, by the way?
It's pretty easy.
It didn't feel like you were getting challenged by that heavier bass sound?
No.
So it feels like we could turn up the music louder and you'd still be able to pedal it, right?
Yeah.
Now, you're a pretty experienced cyclist, but this feels like, does this feel like climbing up a hill, or does it feel like riding around town?
Right now it's just like on flat ground, so.
Like riding around town. Okay, cool. Hit another one. Music is part of what's got to get us where we need to go in life, what makes us feel things, what gets our emotions circulating inside. And at most events, if they're outside, the power for that event has to come from a faraway building and an extension cord or a gas generator. You can do it with one person. At a lot of music events, the music is just way too loud. I went to hear a rapper that I really liked the other night, and I couldn't understand his lyrics. I went because I wanted to hear his message, but I couldn't understand the lyrics. It was like when you hear a dog barking, and you know they're trying to tell you something, and you just don't know what it is. You want to have the listening levels to where the brain can comprehend it all. Using pedal power is a nice way to do that because you're limited by the ability of the pedaler to supply the power. If you're trying to use music to move the world towards a more sustainable place, you got to consider pedaling.
Yeah, man, I mean, the generators, not only is it loud? So it's interfering with your music. You gotta make your music louder to cover up that noise, the annoying drum generator. But those things don't have smog controls, and you have to bring a gas can. I hate getting gas on my hands.
So yeah, once you get the voltage into the ideal range, keeping it in the target range is pretty easy. It's about around town biking levels, not like sprinting to the top of a hill, but basically like going to the cafe. And what's cool about that is that it's giving everyday people who maybe haven't been on a bicycle in a while a chance to pedal and accomplish something useful. It's heard 2 loudspeakers plugged into the One Bike, One Speaker system. Now that we're getting crazy with the name, this is One Bike, 2 speakers. This is the PRX 635 modified JBL and the modified 1000 watt subwoofer, which takes care of the low end. These speakers sound exactly the same when running on pedal power as they do when running on wall power. They don't sound any quieter, they don't sound any fuzzier, they sound just as good. We had 2 speakers cranked up to pretty danceable levels, and the power lasted for about a minute when he stopped pedaling. You finished your gig, you inspired people with pedal power, and now it's time to get home. And what better way is there to get home than by bike? It's a really important part of the message, and it's a part that gets delivered without words. It's you packing up your gear without the help of a car or truck. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Just take the speaker. The speakers that we sell are lightweight. They're made out of plywood, not plastic, so they sound good, but they're relatively lightweight for a plywood speaker. Bring it over to your cargo bike, set it down. I'm using a blanket to protect the speaker. Use 2 straps. To secure the speaker. Once you get good at this, you'll be able to bring the bike into a building, into an elevator if it's large enough, through a hallway, through a doorway, and it's like you don't have to apologize for showing up with a bike because the bike actually helps you because you don't have to carry your speaker through long spaces. So unlike showing up with a vehicle, you actually have a way to get your gear to the exact spot that it's going to get used. When you do it right, you don't actually have to bear much weight on your back. So I'm going to squeeze the brake, swing the bike around, and ride.